She was just an Omega serving wine when she overheard something that could get her killed. The Alpha King trusted his translator completely. He had no idea the man sitting beside him was secretly betraying him. As negotiations began, Anna realized the translator wasn't making mistakes. He was deliberately changing every word. Then she heard the truth. The rival pack had already been paid. And once the Alpha King signed the agreement, they planned to stage an accident that would leave him dead. Anna knew she should stay silent. Instead, she risked everything, walked up to the most powerful wolf in the room and whispered 4 words. "Your translator is lying." But saving the Alpha King would make her a traitor to her own pack and put a target on her back. Alpha Ethan Carter had built his kingdom from almost nothing. At 12 years old, he was the youngest Alpha to take the throne. His father passed, suddenly leaving behind a failing kingdom. But Ethan was relentless. His allies soon learned to admire his natural intelligence. Councilmen learned to trust his leadership and every decision he made. Yet few people knew that success had come at the cost of loneliness. His Luna had died 2 years earlier after a long illness, leaving him with memories that no amount of power could erase. Since then, the kingdom had become both his escape and his purpose. When a rival invited Ethan to their territory for what was described as the most important alliance in lands, everyone believed it would become another historic success. The deal promised billions of dollars in future trade and access to routes which would expand exporting. Ethan traveled with his private guards and a highly respected translator named Victor Lang. Victor had worked with Ethan for nearly 4 years. Fluent in 6 languages and incredibly professional, he had earned everyone's trust. Ethan rarely questioned a single word Victor translated because he believed loyalty had already been proven over hundreds of successful meetings around the kingdom. Ethan was invited to join the rival Alpha at a restaurant outside of the castle. This was unusual, but the rival Alpha frequented the establishment and enjoyed showing off the luxuries of his kingdom. The negotiations were scheduled inside one of the kingdom's most prestigious luxury hotels overlooking a river. Working quietly inside the hotel's restaurant was 27-year-old Anna Schneider. Most guests barely noticed her as she served breakfast, refilled coffee cups, and cleaned tables with gentle efficiency. She had worked there for almost 2 years while studying to be a healer. Anna's life had never been easy. Her father had died when she was 16, leaving her mother to battle multiple sclerosis alone. Medical bills had forced Anna to postpone her dreams many times. Every dollar she earned helped pay for treatments, rent, and groceries. She had learned to smile even when exhausted because kindness often became the only luxury she could afford. That evening, she was assigned to the private dining room reserved for Ethan Carter's team and Alpha King Wilton. Her responsibility was simple: keep the wine flowing, remain invisible, and interrupt nothing. As negotiations began, Anna noticed something strange almost immediately. King Wilton spoke respectfully, discussing technical details, timelines, and financial protections designed to benefit both Alphas equally. Yet each time Victor translated it, his words carried a completely different meaning. He suddenly changed numbers, removed important conditions, and exaggerated risks that neither Alpha mentioned. Anna nearly dropped a wine glass. At first, she wondered if she had misunderstood something, but sentence after sentence confirmed her fear. Then came the conversation that made her blood run cold. One of Wilton's councilmen quietly turned toward another and whispered that everything would be finalized once Ethan signed, because our partners have already secured the final payment for Victor. Councilman replied that the accident planned after the signing would erase every remaining problem, allowing someone else to gain complete control of the territory. Victor looked directly at them and smiled. Then he calmly translated something entirely different. Anna's heart pounded so loudly she feared someone would hear it. She realized the translator wasn't merely making mistakes, he was helping them. She tried convincing herself she should ignore it. She was only an Omega, and this was a rival pack. Even though it's been decades, we have gone to battle against this pack. Plus, nobody would believe someone serving wine over respected translators and councilmen. Still, every instinct inside her refused to stay silent. Throughout dinner, she watched Ethan carefully. Unlike the rumors whispered about him, Ethan thanked every servant. Once he even noticed a dishwasher struggling with a heavy cart and quietly helped move it before returning to his meeting. Anna couldn't understand why someone like him had become the target of such cruelty. The session continued behind closed doors. Anna kept replaying every dangerous sentence she had heard. If she remained silent and something happened, she would never forgive herself. If she spoke, she could lose her job, face royal consequences, or even become a target herself. As Ethan left the conference room for a brief break, walking alone toward a quiet hotel garden, Anna made her decision. With shaking hands, she approached him. Her voice barely worked. She apologized for interrupting and quietly asked if he trusted his translator with his life. Ethan looked surprised. She then said the words that instantly changed everything. "Your translator is lying." For a moment, Ethan simply stared. He had heard many strange things during his years, but never something this serious from a frightened Omega. Does she realize coming forward with this information can jeopardize her life? Anna quickly explained that she understood both languages perfectly. She carefully repeated several conversations exactly as they had originally been spoken. She described how Victor changed contract terms and revealed the horrifying whisper about secret payments and a planned accident after the agreement. Ethan listened without interrupting. Years of ruling had taught him one important lesson. Truth often arrived from unexpected people. "Why are you telling me this? Do you know what they will do to you?" he questioned. "Your Majesty, I do know this could make me a target if they found out. But I watched you, and I do not believe the rumors my pack have conspired about you. I would not forgive myself if I didn't say something. I do not wish to go against my pack, but this is wrong." She looked down, worried how he would respond. Instead of dismissing her, he quietly thanked her and promised to verify everything before making any decisions. He also assured her that no one would know. Without informing Victor, Ethan contacted a trusted advisor and requested an independent interpreter. The new interpreter arrived discreetly before the evening meeting. No one except Ethan knew why. The negotiations resumed. Victor confidently continued translating, but this time every sentence was checked in real time. Within minutes, the deception became obvious. Victor claimed Wilton demanded immediate ownership rights. The independent interpreter quietly confirmed they had actually offered stronger protections for Ethan's kingdom. Victor translated that delays would destroy the alliance. The real translation stated both sides should carefully review every document before signing. Ethan remained perfectly calm, allowing Victor to continue lying while he secretly compared every version of the conversation. Evidence piled up rapidly. Then came the final revelation. One councilman once again mentioned Victor's payment. Victor translated it as appreciation for future cooperation. The independent interpreter translated every single word exactly. Silence filled the room. Ethan slowly stood. Without raising his voice, he thanked everyone for revealing who they truly were. He motioned for his guards to seize Victor. Victor's face turned completely pale. Alpha King Wilton pretended to not understand. Ethan, through his independent interpreter, told Wilton he will not be signing the agreement, and an investigation will begin to determine who the conspirators are. Wilton looked angry but kept his composure. Investigators later discovered a fraud network involving bribery, hidden weapons, and plans to eliminate anyone standing in their way through staged accidents. Victor had secretly worked against Ethan for almost 4 years. Millions of trade dollars had already disappeared through manipulated agreements across multiple territories. Had Anna remained silent for even one more day, Ethan might have signed away much of his kingdom before suffering an unfortunate accident during his return trip. Victor quickly met justice. His rank was stripped, all his properties were seized, and he would spend the rest of his short life in the dungeons. News spread across the lands within hours. Then rumors spread that the rival pack's Omega was hired as a spy, or she traded favors with Ethan. and the meeting at this restaurant was his idea so that she could be in attendance. 3 days later, Anna was back to her regular schedule, serving breakfast and refilling coffee cups. She was guarded, and every loud noise made her jump. She heard the rumors but didn't know what to do. She tried best to ignore them and go about her life. Let us know what you think about our story, and if you enjoy it, click subscribe so you'll receive notifications when a new audio from Alpha Love Stories Original gets uploaded. Now back to the story. As she was carrying a tray back to the kitchen, she saw from the corner of her eye 2 royal guards enter, and they were scanning the room. Anna quickly went through the kitchen door and peered through. They angrily pushed the other servants away as they were walking through. Anna knew who they were looking for. She made a mad dash for the back door and ran down the alley as quickly as she could. As she was turning a corner, she looked back to see them quickly catching up to her. She attempted to shift, but she had never fully shifted in her life. So the best she could do is extend her claws, and she ran with as much power as she could muster. But it was no match for the 2 guards. They quickly grabbed her. But somehow through the tussle she was able to use her claws to get away and ran into a crowded street market. She lowered her body as she navigated through the people, hoping they couldn't spot her. She didn't dare look back. She just kept going. On the other side of the market, she ran until she met the tree line, then entered the forest. She kept running until she couldn't run any longer. The sounds of the people disappeared, and all she could hear was her heavy breathing and leaves crunching from her steps. She collapsed against a tree, breathing so hard she could barely catch her breath. She dared to look in the direction she came and didn't see anyone. She sat there until her breath became steady and her heart calmed down. A sick feeling came over her. What if they go to her house? What would they do to her mother? She isn't able to fight them off. Her only option is to turn herself in and probably face death for treason. She didn't see any hope. As Anna is sitting there, tears start to stream down her face. She felt compelled to do what was right, but this is where it's gotten her. Her life has never been easy, but she's never been this hopeless. She began to wonder if she could seek asylum with Ethan's pack. But if they see her as a traitor for reporting the translator, the worst that could happen is they kill her as well. The thought was dismal. She was afraid for her mother, but she thought the only way she would have a chance was to reach Ethan's pack. She put all her energy into trekking through the woods to reach the border. She didn't dare take the road. She knew they would be watching for her. She walked into the wee hours of the night and dozed off against a tree. She woke up gasping for air and frightened. She dreamed that they found her. She quickly jumped to her feet and followed the moonlight as it peeked through the tree branches. By midday of the next day, she reached the border. As she stepped into the new territory, she found the road and was quickly met with travelers. She was able to hitch a ride toward the castle. After she told the guards who she was and why she was there, she mentally prepared herself for the worst. But instead, they led her to the king's study. Ethan welcomed her and had the servants bring her food. Anna was starving but can't eat. She tells him what has happened and waits for his response. Ethan looks at her and then walks to the door to call his guard. He tells the guard to prepare a troop to retrieve Anna's mother. He then turns to her and says that a room will be prepared for her and her mother, and they can stay as long as they want. Anna is overwhelmed with emotion. She doesn't know what to say. "Your Majesty, thank you for your help. I simply believed that remaining silent would have been wrong. I didn't want to be labeled as a traitor." He believes her. "For generations, we have never been able to secure a trade agreement with your pack. They rule with intimidation, dishonesty, and ruthlessness. If they consider you a traitor, consider it flattery." Anna almost laughed. She didn't agree with how the kingdom was ruled and ignored it because she couldn't do anything about it. She tried her best to mind her own business and take care of her mother. 2 days later, Anna was reunited with her mother. The rival pack had visited her but only threatened if they didn't find Anna. Thankfully, she was able to be retrieved easily. Days later, Ethan invited Anna and her mother to the Great Hall for dinner as honored guests. During that evening, Ethan learned about Anna's sacrifices, her postponed education, her mother's illness, and the years she had quietly carried responsibilities far beyond her age. He also discovered she had once dreamed of becoming a healer before financial hardship forced her to abandon it. Ethan saw something money could never buy: integrity, courage, and compassion. He felt a door open within him. For 2 years, he had been closed off. He would not allow himself to pursue any type of relationship. But when he first saw her from across the room, serving wine, his wolf stirred. And when she first spoke to him, he immediately felt like he knew her. He trusted what she was saying without a doubt. During the time after he left the rival pack's lands, he felt a loss. He wanted to reach out to her but thought it was inappropriate. She was an omega of a rival pack. Even without the circumstances, it would be frowned upon. But now that she's here, he feels like the moon goddess arranged this. One afternoon, while Anna was sitting in the courtyard reading, Ethan asked to sit with her. He told her what he was feeling. She looked at him with disbelief. "Your Majesty, you know I'm not royal blood. I have nothing to offer," she says, not really knowing what he could see in her. "It's not about what you have to offer. It's about who you are. You are courageous, caring, and compassionate. Not to mention beautiful," he said as his eyes twinkled. Anna blushed. "So what does this mean?" "It means if you are interested, I would like to court you. I like you and I see myself with you. Plus my wolf jumps for joy every time you are around. My wolf is happy too," Anna said with her eyes filled with tears. "I don't know how to do this, and I definitely don't know how to be a queen, but I am willing to try." She smiles. "I will teach you," he says as a smile spreads across his face. "We will take our time, and if you don't feel comfortable, we'll slow down." Ethan places his hand on hers. Power flows through them. Anna gasps, and he looks at her knowingly. "I will protect you for the rest of my life, whether you decide to choose me or not. I will always be your alpha." Anna, overwhelmed with emotion, let her tears fall. "I hope so," she says as she places her head against his chest. He wraps an arm around her shoulder and kisses her head, and they sit there allowing electricity to flow through them and their wolves to leap for joy. Thanks for listening. If we can do anything better, let us know in the comments and click subscribe so we can continue to offer audio stories from Alpha Love Stories Original.